Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hi, my name is Jennifer, and today we're doing a sneak peek video. So if this is up on Patreon, then it's going to be up in December. If this is now on my YouTube channel, then these have been released for spring, and it's probably January, but with supply chain issues, you never quite know. So what we're going to do today is we're going to take a look at, and I'm just going to show you the coverings first, because you're going to know what these are as soon as I put them up. The Chanel Tweed eyeshadow palettes. If you're interested in seeing that, just stay tuned. So hey everyone, like I said in the beginning, if you're watching this on Patreon, it's December, January, and if you're watching this on my YouTube channel, I'm gonna assume that it's January and these have been released, but it could be later because we just don't know how things are working nowadays. Let me pull back my hair really quickly before we get into this. So there are three eyeshadow palettes that are the Tweeds. So they are Tweed Pourpre, which is a very purple, cool-toned, pink purple quad. And hopefully you can see the tweed in there. I'll hold it up so the camera can adjust. I do have pictures up as well. They will be on Patreon first. And then, of course, when these are released in the US, I will make sure that they are on Instagram. This is the little tweed pouch that comes with the purple Pourpre. It's really cute. And I will admit fully that if I have the opportunity, I will buy a second one of these because I actually hate ruining them. They are so pretty that I don't actually want to use them, but I have a channel. I need to show them to you. Okay, so this is Tweed Brune a Rose, which is interesting because it looks very like brune, but it doesn't look like there's a rose. I guess this is the rose, maybe, but anyway, so that's that one. And the little tweed cover that comes with it is this. Isn't that cute? This is, they did a, you know, I get annoyed with Chanel sometimes, even though I used to work for them. Forgive me, Chanel. But some of the things they do, some of the things they come out with, I'm like, really? You're Chanel. But this, now, hopefully they work well. I haven't tried them yet. But the whole image and the tweed little covers, that was done beautifully. So I'll give them that. And then the last one is Tweed Fauve. And this is like a warm, I'd say like burnt orange kind of thing. This shade here shows up a little bit cool, so I can't really tell, and this one does too, but we'll see. We'll see what they actually look like when we try them. And this is the little tweed covering that comes with it. Isn't that cute? That's just so freaking cute. So those are the tweed eyeshadows. And like I said, I'm thrilled to have them. And I don't want to use them. Well, we're going to do that. We're going to use them. We're going to swatch them. I've taken lots of pictures. So, but I will admit, if I have an opportunity to buy like a second one of these, and I know, it's completely ridiculous. It's makeup, you should use it, but I would love to have these pristine. I get my own issues, guys. I'm not unaware. You don't have to tell me. All right, so let's do the Pourpre first. This is the cool toned one. And I'm going to try to not completely ruin it when I swatch it. I'm pretty, you're going to ruin it because the embossing never stays. I don't care. Like, it just doesn't. It doesn't, no matter how thick the embossing is. Yeah. So we're going in a clockwise motion. I'm doing 2 swatches of each. Like 1 layer, 2 layers of each shade. There's 1, 2. They do seem lightly pigmented. They don't seem super pigmented. Chanel is never super pigmented. Well, I should say never. There's been a few. Like, I think Road Movie is pretty pigmented. There's a couple, but most of them are more lightly pigmented, which I never have a problem with as long as it shows up on the eye. Just because something is lightly pigmented, and I say like lightly as in it's a wash of color. That's fine if it's what it's meant to be. But what I hate is when a color looks like really strong in a pan and then you put it on and there's nothing there. That gets me. If it's just supposed to be like a wash look, then that's okay. That's a style. That's fine. I've noticed like Suku does a lot of that, and that's good. All right, so now we're gonna do the warm one. This is Tweed Fauve. And let's try that one. This one seems a little more pigmented. Like it has, you can see what I mean, it has more depth to it. Yep. And when I'm recording this, I will have just done a, what was the video I just did? New beauty releases, new luxury releases that surprised me. And that was a warm look. So I'm not going to do another warm look today. I'm probably going to do like this one or maybe the brown one. Probably the purple one, because I bet you that's the one most people want to see. I mean, I shouldn't say like definitely, but I find that like when I do like the pinks or purples, those seem more popular. It's funny because that's not my favorite color story, but it is for a lot of people, so I respect that. I get that. All right. Let's do this one here. Okay, so this is the, what did I call this? What was the name of this one? Brune et Rose. Okay. See, I'm working on my French pronunciation anyway. It's never going to be great, guys. It's just not. I'm an attorney by training. I passed my bar on my first shot, but my languages, yeah, not my skill. Okay, so that's the coolest shade, the lightest shade. Yeah, I mean, you can't, there's just some things that sometimes you're just not good at. You can always get better, but, you know, I have friends who speak several languages, like literally 4 or 5 languages. And to them, it is, they cannot understand why I can't do it. Like they get so frustrated with me. I'm like, I just don't hear it. It's like, sorry, doing my best. But yeah, I went to, for undergrad, a very international school. And actually my senior year, I was in an international dorm. And it was many people that I know can speak many languages. All right, so right here we've got the Pourpre. Here we've got the Fauve, and here we've got the Brune et Rose. And I'll go like this as well, so you can kind of see. Those are the 3 color stories. So this definitely has, you know, I'd say cool tone browns, and this is definitely more of a rose. This one and this one. This is purple, purple, a little bit pink. And this is a warm orangey gold kind of color story. So I think I'm gonna, like I said, I'm gonna do the purple because I do think that's the one. I think that's the one most people are gonna want to see. So I will do that one today. You know, and interestingly enough, although it's not super pigmented, I use these I use these microfiber towels to just like wipe my hands off like this when I'm filming. And then of course I go in the bathroom and wash my arms and everything. But you know, when you just use the microfiber towel, it actually doesn't come off that easily, which is interesting. Because I've had lots of shadows that just come right off. So it has more staying power than we might think. All right, so let's dive in to the Pourpre. All right, brought you in a little bit closer so you can see the look a little better. And today we're using BK Beauty Angie Hot and Flashy eye set. I gotta tell you guys, I use this a lot. I really like this brush set. It's a really good set. Don't get me wrong, I still love my Sonia G brushes, my Wayne Goss brushes, my Chikuhodo brushes, but I've been using this one a lot, and I really like it. I really like it. So, BK Beauty and Angie did a fantastic job. All right, so what I'm gonna do we're gonna use this shade, I think, for the transition. And then we'll like kind of buff it out with this. We'll use this in the outer corner. We'll use this on the eye. This might also be a brow color as well. These colors are similar in nature. They're not, I have weird hair going. They're not the same by any means. I just mean they have the same hue and undertones. So we'll see how different it really looks on the eye. But yeah, let's go ahead and start. So, and hopefully they go on the eye with a little bit more. Well, we'll see. We'll see what happens. Okay, here we go. Oh, that's very pretty. Okay, so like I said, it's not super pigmented, but it's definitely pigmented. It's not, you know, one of those palettes that, and don't get me wrong, again, I understand that there is a market for people who want like no makeup look. I got it, and that's fine. I just, for me personally, have a difficult time spending this kind of money on luxury beauty, and then I put it on and there's nothing there. I'm just like, okay. I get it, though, if that's what you like. There's nothing wrong with that, and I'm not making fun of you. I'm saying, for me, I need to see something. Like, I need to be like, okay, there's some payoff there. But, you know, I also say that I kind of fall in the middle, I think, a little bit, because I don't necessarily want the most pigmented shadows all of the time, because sometimes I do want just, you know, a wash of color, just a little bit of something, especially for work. My job does not lend itself to elaborate or what some might call outlandish makeup looks. That would not fly. So, you know, there's a lot of my makeup that, yeah, I would not use. I mean, I wouldn't. You know, I think you can wear whatever you want, wherever you want. But, you know, we all have to be aware of, you know, different environments. Okay, so I'm gonna take that really light pink shade. This is the pink shade here. And I'm just gonna use a tiny bit of it like up in the brow. I just wanna see, yeah, okay, so it's light enough that you can just kind of like, if you use just a little bit of it, it's gonna give a little bit of lightness to this brow area. I'm not gonna use too much because I don't want it to be like just pink. I kind of want to, you know, add in like a lighter color. What I would probably do if I was just doing this and I wasn't just testing this out for all of you, I would take like a highlighter and use it up there just to kind of, I don't know, brighten it a little bit. So I'm gonna go back in. This is, by the way, I never said, this is the 503. This is the Angie 503. And I'm just going back in and slowly buffing, lightly buffing, very much buffing. You know, I've told you guys this in previous videos, but if you haven't watched my videos before, or maybe this is your first time watching me, I buff a lot. I buff a lot. My face, my eyes, like these looks, you know, I feel like a lot of times, I don't want to just leave that on camera because it's just boring. Sometimes I'll speed through it so you can just see me doing it, but just really sped through. But sometimes I'll just cut it out because it depends on, you know, what it looks like, or if I had to take a break in the middle of it or something. But it does take a while to blend out a shadow well, to make it smooth and diffused. So, you know, good tools, good brushes, good shadows, but still, it also takes, you know, some effort. All right, so we've got two shades on now. Now we're gonna take I think it's more of a, it's got a little bit more of the plum to it. Well, let's see, I think, yeah, it's got a little bit more like sparkle, not a lot. It's not matte, but I think it has like a little bit of what I would say plum. And so I'm kind of like just putting it on the eye. I think maybe it's a satin. That's the other thing, the only thing I really don't like about Chanel. Like on the back of a Chanel quad, all you get is this very, in my opinion, amorphous instruction. What I mean by that is it says medium, light, dark, medium on the shades. I'm like, well, okay. I don't know if it's a satin. I don't know if it's a matte. Now, like I said, you know, you should be able to figure that out, I guess, when you put it on your eye. But sometimes it's just nice to have on the back of the palette, or even on the, if you don't want it on the palette, then somewhere that just says, this is a satin, this is a sparkly shade. I personally like that. If you know, you guys don't care, that's fine. But I do, I like it. It just gives me, like, when I'm looking at the shadows, just helps me sort of plan out what I want to do. These seem, I would say they're all matte except for the pink shade that has some satin to it. Or this shade might also have some satin to it, but not a lot. I mean, it's either they're all mattes or they're mattes and then the pink one, the light one, is a satin. Like I said, it's a little hard to tell. So now I'm going in with the deepest purple shade here, and I'm just like emphasizing the outer corner of the eye. I'm not bringing it up at all. I'm just putting it right here on the edge. This is a spring quad, so, you know, again, generally, when you're thinking of spring, you think of a lighter, or at least I do, a lighter look, right? Light, springy look. Living here in Massachusetts, the only thing I'll tell you about spring is that it's dark. It's dreary. Look, I love it here. I moved back here. Like, I purposely came back, but spring is not the best time in New England, at least to me. Holidays, yes, it's cold and, you know, there's snow and all that good stuff. This is 03 winter, but like what I was trying to say is in the winter there's the holidays, right? So you have all the holiday stuff. So it just doesn't, you know, it's kind of fun. Like, snow is fun and all that stuff's fun because it's the holidays and you're decorating and stuff. It's not so much fun in February or March or April when it's just still cold. You're like, okay, had enough. All right, so we're gonna take that really light shade and I'm gonna go in with the 505. It's not actually that light, it's just the pink shade. And I'm gonna put that on the lid. Yeah, I think this one has some, I think it's probably a satin. It's not a lot, but I think it's more so than the other shades. The other shades look more like a matte to me. And because these aren't like super pigmented, that's why it's a little harder to tell. Also, I have more mature eyes, so it's not as if, you know, I'm looking for a super shiny thing to accentuate all my wrinkles. I'm just saying it's a little difficult for me to even tell what exactly it is. So that, I think, is pretty much the finished look. For the top of the eye, I'm gonna run around the lower lash line, but I think it's a very pretty, very soft look. I personally wish that like the pink shade was like more iridescent or sparkly or something, because I feel like that would bring out the shades a little bit more. But, you know, again, maybe that wasn't the purpose of this because they're doing the tweed thing, and so the tweeds needed to, you know, who knows. All right, so let me just clean up the outside just a little bit. If you're watching this on my YouTube channel and you're like, why does she not know this? This has been released. It's because I'm recording it in December before it was released. So I don't necessarily know all the details that have probably come out by the time this ends up on my YouTube channel. All right, that's the only drawback of, you know, pre-releases, getting things early, because you don't know, you don't know, or at least I don't, all the details about like the release and what, you know, the material is going to be and what the ingredients are. You don't have that. So, all right, so I'm going to take the deepest shade, run along the lower lash line. Yeah, so I know nothing about the formula. I know nothing about, I know, you know, I have a general idea of what the collection is going to look like, but I don't have specifics. So I wish I did. I'd give them to you if I could. All right, so this is the finished look. I think it's a beautiful plum. I think it's probably a combination of mattes and maybe one satin. The formula, little hairs, the formula is very pretty and blended well and looks very nice. It doesn't, it's not my favorite Chanel quad. However, the packaging is the most, I love the packaging. I admit, you know, I'm just, again, just me. All right, so let me take one of the Chanel waterproof liners. Let me get one that's like a purple. It's all very subjective, guys. You might, you know, absolutely love it, and it would be your favorite, like, ever. And that's okay. That's kind of the point. You know, that I give you my opinion, and you can have a totally different one. All right, let's use, this is, I was gonna use Psyche, but I think I'm gonna use purple chalk. Let me look. I think purple chalk might be better. Let's use purple chalk. So I'm just gonna use purple chalk on the upper lash line. If you haven't watched me before, the Chanel waterproof liners are my favorites. I love them. I just think they're like the perfect combination of long wearing and so soft that they go on super easy. Just super easy. I've never had difficulty putting on a Chanel liner, these liners. They just go on beautifully and they stay on all day. So they're awesome. All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put on a little bit of Chanel mascara. We'll come right back. I'll talk a little bit. I'll show you an up close with the mascara on, and we'll talk a little bit about the collection and go from there. Okay, we're back. I've got some mascara on. Let me bring you in close so you can see the look. So, as I said, as I was putting the eyeshadow on, I think it blended really well. I think it looks very pretty. I think it's a perfect spring, plummy kind of palette. But it's not my favorite Chanel quad, and I feel like, first of all, I will just admit, cool pink purples aren't my favorite quads. However, the Dior quads, like the Tutu, and there's a couple of others that, of course, are escaping my brain at the moment. Those are purples, and I love those. So I feel like maybe it's just this tone of purple that I don't love, because it's more pinky, and I actually like more of like a dusty plum that has sort of a grayish tone to it. This has more pink. If you like pink and you like purple, this is gonna be the one for you. And I just don't think the shade differential is that great. I think the three purple shades look very similar on the eye. There is a difference, as I showed you my swatches, but I don't think it's a huge difference, these three. Like on the eye, they look similar. And then this rose color, it's just not like, it doesn't have a lot of depth to it. It doesn't have any sparkle to it. It just looks kind of flat. It's not terrible. I do like it. It's just, it doesn't match the outside. So what I'd say about the Tweed Pourpre is that I don't think the quality or the look is as good as the whole packaging with the tweed, you know, sleeve and the tweed embossing. I like the embossing and the little cover much more than I actually like the look. Now, here's the thing. This is one of the three. I'm gonna do a video on each one of these because they're not gonna look necessarily the same. They may have all the same formula, looks exactly the same, but I don't think so because when I swatched it, when I did the warm one, it definitely looked more pigmented and the gold tone definitely had, if not like sparkle, definitely satin. So that I did not see with this one. And then the brown one, the cool brown one, I got a different feel from that one too. So we're gonna try them all out and just see. What I would say is, like I said, if you're interested in a cool purple pink one, this is the one. This is the one you're gonna wanna pick. And I paired it with a Chanel lipstick. This is Camelia Grenat or something like that. But it's a Chanel lipstick. I'll have it all in the description box. It does pair well. So if you're looking for like a pinkish lip to go with it. Like I said, I don't think it's bad. I think it's fine, but it wouldn't be a favorite. I still love the packaging enough. Glad that I have it, but it's not something that I would continually use. Just again, that's me, my color story, not my favorite. So I'll be doing the burnt orange one, the one that looked like that warmer toned one. And then I'll be doing the brown one that looks like a cool brown one. I'll do those in separate videos so you guys can check them out as well. All right, thanks so much for joining me today, guys. I really do appreciate it. Hope to see you in another video really soon.